gotta move quick this time. Substack. How to fix your entire day. Hello. How to fix, how to fix, how to fix your entire life in one day. You're probably going to quit your New Year resolution, and that's okay. Most people do. Studies show that 18 to 90% failure rate because most people don't actually want to change on a deep internal level. That is, they go about changing their life in the completely wrong way. They create a New Year resolution because everyone else does. Humans want to impress others more than they want to impress themselves. We create a superficial meaning out of stated game. We create a superficial meaning out of stated game. But they don't meet the requirement. But they don't meet the requirement for the true change, which goes a lot deeper than convincing yourself you are going to be more disciplined or productive this year. I'm not here to talk down on you. I have quit 10 times more goals than I have set. I think that should be the case for most people. But the fact that people try to change their lives and utterly fail almost every time holds true. So much so that it's a meme for the gym to be crowded during January and return back to normal in February. However, as much as I think New Year resolutions are stupid, it is always wise to reflect on the life you hate so you can launch yourself towards something that much better, as we will discuss. Human nature is a bitch, and the worst feeling is when you make a promise to yourself and can't help but break it. You start to feel helpless, and if you don't know what you are doing, you may continue the cycle for years on end, always wanting to change but never being able to. So whether you want to start a business, transform your body, or take the risk toward a more meaningful life without quitting after 2 weeks, I want to share 7 ideas you probably haven't heard before on behavior change, psychology, and productively so you can do just that in 2026. This will be comprehensive. This isn't one of those letters that you read through and forget about. This is something you will want to bookmark, take notes on, and set aside time to think about. All I ask is that you dedicate your full attention to this. If you get bored, skip to the next section and go back to fill the blank if you need to. Let's begin. 1. You aren't where you want to be because you are not the person you would be there. When it comes to New Year's resolution, people only focus on one or the two requirements for succeed. Changing your action to make process toward the goal. Least important second order. Changing who you are so that your behavior naturally follow. Most important first order. Most people set a surface level goal, hype themselves up to remain disciplined for the first few weeks, then go back to their own way without much struggle because they were trying to build a great life on a rotting foundation. If this doesn't make sense, let's run through an example. Let's think of somebody successful. It can be a bodybuilder with a great physique, a founder CEO worth hundreds of millions, or a charismatic dude who can chat up a group without a shadow of anxiety entering his mind space. Do you think, do you think the bodybuilder has to lean to eat healthy? Does the CEO have to discipline themselves to show up and lead the team? To you, it may seem like that on the surface, but the truth is that they cannot see themselves living other, other ways. The bodybuilder have to lean to eat unhealthily. The CEO have to force themselves to lie in bed past their alarm clock, and they hate every second of it. To some people, my own lifestyle seems a bit extreme and disciplined. To me, it's natural, and I don't say that to contract with any other kind of lifestyle. I simply enjoy living this way. When my mom tells me that I should take a break, go out and have some fun, I hold my tongue from telling her, if I weren't having fun, why would I be doing that? What if I weren't having fun, why would I be doing what I'm doing? Do not take this next sentence lightly. Do not take this next sentence lightly. If you want a specific outcome in life, you must have the lifestyle that create that outcome long before you reach it. If someone say they want to lose 30 pounds, I often don't believe them. Not because I don't think they can, not because I don't think they are capable, but because there are too many times when that same person say they can't wait until they done losing weight so they can start enjoying life again. I hate to break it to you, but if you don't adopt the lifestyle that lead you losing the weight for life and find a reason with a higher reputational pull than the one tying you to your previous way, then you will go straight back to where you started, and you can unhappily say that you waste the result you will never get back time. When you truly change yourself, all of your habits that don't move the needle toward your goal become disgusting, because you have a deep and profound awareness of that kind of like no action compound into. You are okay with your current standard because you are not fully aware of what they are or what they lead to. We will discuss how to uncover this. But we need to build up to that. We will discuss how to uncover this, but we need to build up to that. You say you want to change. You say you want to become financially free and get healthy, but your actions show otherwise for a reason, and it goes a lot deeper than you think. Two, you aren't where you want to be because you don't want to be there. Alfred Adler said, trust only movement. Life happen at the end of event. Trust only movement. Life happen at the level of event, not of works. Trust movement. If you want to change who you are, you must understand how the mind works so that you can start to reprogram it. The first step to understand the mind is to understand that our behavior is goal oriented. When you think about it, it is kind of obvious, but when we dig into it, most people don't want to hear it. You take a step forward because you want to reach a certain location. You scratch your nose because you want to make the itch go away. No ones are clear, but most of the time your goals are unconscious. You may not realize that when you sit on the couch in the middle of the day, you are trying to burn time before your next responsibility. As one simple example, on an even more unconscious and complex level. You pursue goals that can harm you. That can harm you, but you justify your action in a way is that is socially acceptable and doesn't make you seem like a loser. As an as, as an example, you can stop procrastinating. If you can stop procrastinating your work, you may justify it with the fact that you lack discipline. But in reality, you are attempting to achieve a goal like you always are. In this case, that goal should be more protect yourself from the judgment that comes from finishing and sharing your work. If you say you want to quit your dead-end job but stay in it without any reason, you may start to think you don't have enough courage, enough courage, or that, you were never really a risk taker. But the truth is that you are pursuing the goal. But the truth is that you are pursuing the goal of safety, predictability, and an excuse to not look like a failure to everyone else in your life to who also work a dead-end job. The lesson here is that real change requires changing your goals. I don't mean setting some surface level goal because the act of doing what serves an unconscious what serves an unconscious goal that is actually harming you. That's been ran through enough in the productivity space. I mean changing changing your point of view. Because that's what a life goal is. A goal is projection into the future that acts as a lens of perception which allow you to notice information, ideas, and resources that aid in you achieving that goal. Now, let's dig a bit deeper because if you don't understand this, it's only become more difficult to get out. 3. You are not where you want to be because you are afraid to be there. You are not where you want to be because you are afraid to be there. The important thing for you to remember is that it does not matter in the least how you got the idea or where it came from. You may never have met a professional hypnotist. You may never have been formally hypnotized. But if you have accepted an idea from yourself, your teacher, your parents, brand, advertisement, from any other sort, and further, if you are firmly convinced that idea is true, it has the same power over you as the hypnotist word has over the hypnotized subject. Maxwell Maltz. Here is how you becoming who you are today and how you will become who you will be tomorrow. This is the autonomy of identity. You want to achieve a goal. 2. You perceive reality through the lens of that goal. 3. You only know the important information and idea that allow you to achieve that goal. Learning. 4. You act toward that goal and receive feedback that you are processing toward it. 5. You repeat that behavior until it becomes automatic and unconscious conditionally. 6. That behavior become a part of your 6. That behavior become a part of who you think you are. I am the person. I am the type of person who ... 7. You depend your identity to maintain psychological consistency. 8. Your identity shape new goals, restarting the cycle, and if that identity is disadvantaged toward a goal life, a good life, it gets bad very quickly. The unfortunate reality is that you must break the cycle between steps 6 and 7, but this process starts when you are a child. You have the goal of survival. You are dependent on your parent you are dependent on your parent to teach you how to survive. You have to conform and seen the way most people teach it to reward and punishment. Unless you adopt their belief and values, you will be punished. I don't want actually think for yourself until you don't actually think for yourself until you see through this. But your parents have also gone through this process throughout their entire life. That's when it can be dangerous. Your parents, unless they broke the pattern themselves, were conditioned by the cultural accepted idea of success from the in, industrial age. They also carry the best and the worst condition from their parents and their parents' parents. To take it a layer deeper, once you fulfill your physical survival needs, which is quite easy to do in today's world, you practical born into safety. You start to survive on the conceptual or ideological level. You may not try to protect and reproduce your body, but you absolutely protect and reproduce your mind. Reproduce your mind. It's not difficult to see the war of ideas on the internet, and the participants are individual and group identity. When your body feels threatened. Oh, hello. Chị đọc có to